Hi, You Can Heal family. Hoping everyone had a good Thanksgiving. If you're listening around that season, we're going to be reading Isaiah chapter 10 today. My name is Coach Shena, and I'm glad you're here. Destruction is certain for the unjust judges, for those who issue unfair laws. They deprive the poor, the widows, and the orphans of justice. Yes, they rob widows and fatherless children. What will you do when I send desolation upon you from a distant land? To whom will you turn for help? Where will your treasure be safe? I will not help you. You will stumble along as prisoners or lie among the dead. But even the Lord's anger will not be satisfied. His fist is still poised to strike. Destruction of Assyria, verse 5. Destruction is certain for Assyria, the whip of my anger. Its military power is a club in my hand. Assyria will enslave my people, who are a godless nation. It will plunder them, trampling them like dirt beneath its feet. But the king of Assyria will not know that it is I who sent him. He will merely think he is attacking my people as part of his plan to conquer the world. He will say, each of my princes will soon be a king, ruling a conquered land. We will destroy Calno just as we did Karishmish. Hamath will fall before us as Arpad did, and we will destroy Samaria just as we did with Damascus. Yes, we have finished off many a kingdom whose gods were far greater than those in Jerusalem and Samaria. So when we have defeated Samaria and her gods, we will destroy Jerusalem with hers. After the Lord has used the king of Assyria to accomplish his purposes in Jerusalem, he will turn against the king of Assyria and punish him, for he is proud and arrogant. He boasts, by my own power and wisdom I have won these wars. By my own strength I have captured many lands, destroyed their kings, and carried off their treasures. By my greatness I have robbed their nest of riches, and gathered up kingdoms as a farmer gathers eggs. No one can even flap a wing against me, or utter a peep of protest. Can the axe boast greater power than a person who uses it? Is the saw greater than the person who saws, or can a whip strike unless a hand is moving it? Can a cane walk by itself? Listen now, king of Assyria. Because of all your evil boastings, the Lord Almighty, will send a plague among your proud troops, and a flaming fire will ignite your glory. The Lord, the light of Israel, and the Holy One will be flaming fire that will destroy them. In a single night he will burn those thorns and briars, the Assyrians. Assyria's vast army is like a glorious forest, yet it will be destroyed. The Lord will completely destroy Assyria's warriors, and they will waste away like sick people in a plague. Only a few from all that mighty army will survive, so few that a child could count them. Remnant of Israel. Then at last those left in Israel and Judah will trust the Lord, the Holy One of Israel. They will no longer depend on the Assyrians, who will destroy them. A remnant of them will return to the mighty God. But though the people of Israel are as numerous as the sand on the seashore, only a few of them will return at that time. The Lord has rightly decided to destroy his people. Yes, the Lord Almighty, has already decided to consume them. So this is what the Lord Almighty says. My people in Jerusalem, do not be afraid of the Assyrians when they oppress you, just as the Egyptians did long ago. It will not last very long. In a little while, my anger against you will end, and then my anger will rise up to destroy them. The Lord Almighty will beat them with his whip, as he did when Gideon triumphed over the Midianites at the rock of Oreb, or when the Lord's staff was raised to drown the Egyptian army in the sea. And that day the Lord will end the bondage of his people. He will break the yoke of slavery and lift it from their shoulders. Look, the mighty armies of Assyria are coming. They are now at Aiad, now at Migron. They are storing some of their equipment at Michmash. They are crossing the pass and are staying overnight at Gibeah. Fear strikes the city of Ramah. All the people of Gibeah, the city of Saul, are running for their lives. Well may you scream in terror, you people of Galim. Shout out a warning to Laishah, for the mighty army comes. Poor Anaph, what a fate is yours. There go the people of Madamena, all fleeing, and the citizens of Gibeon are preparing to run. But the enemy stops at Nob for the rest of that day. He shakes his fist at Mount Zion and Jerusalem. But look, the Lord Almighty will chop down the mighty tree. He will destroy all that vast army of Assyria, officers and high officials alike. The mighty one will cut down the enemy as an axe cuts down the forest trees in Lebanon. So that's chapter 10, just finishing that up. And we'll continue on tomorrow, Lord willing. But I wanted to point out verse 15, where it's talking about how the axe has no power unless a person uses it. They talked about the saw and the whip unless a person's moving it, or how a cane can't walk by itself. And as I was reading, all I kept thinking of is like, we are in control of the things that we do and how we react to things. And I'm thinking about relationships, and I've been there where, you know, someone has done something to you or said something to you, and you just get so upset that you act out. You know, you do something out of your normal character, and later you end up feeling ashamed or embarrassed by what you've said or done. And these scriptures in verse 15 just remind me, like, we don't have to move. We don't have to move our mouths. We don't have to say something or react a certain way and be controlled by someone else. We're in control, just like, you know, this axe and this saw. Like, unless someone's actually doing it, you have to make a decision to react to something or to say something out of your normal character and personality. So just be reminded, you know, you've got the power of the Holy Spirit. You have self-control. You get to make decisions every day on how you act, how you respond, what you say, what you do. And you don't have to be, you know, controlled by other people. Not at all. Not one bit. So I hope that was clear and it made sense and was helpful. You never know. When you read the word out loud, your brain's always thinking of something. You know, it'll trigger something. Holy Spirit will teach you and guide you and show you stuff in his scriptures. So I'm very thankful for that. All right, You Can Heal family, I'll put this out there. Keep me in prayer. My knees have really bothered me. I'm sitting in my car. I just left. I got some gel injections. So keep me in prayer on the YouTube streets. I would appreciate that, and I'll be praying for you as well. Always remember, true healing begins with self-love. Why? Because God is love and Holy Spirit lives on the inside of you. Bye for now.